Hi there, my name's Jess and I collect vintage paper ephemera. Today I'm going to show you a thrifted haul of vintage children's books I plan to repurpose into junk journal packs for my Etsy store. I hope to make these videos quite regularly, so if you enjoy them, make sure to like, subscribe and comment on what kind of books you'd like to see next. So the first book that I got is this Heidi Novel, and sorry if you can see a bit of a shadow of the ring light in there, but I got it purposefully for its cover. I just think the cover is so beautiful, it's really cute. It's going to make a fantastic Bavarian themed or Swiss Alp themed journal, and it's got these great pictures in it. Let's see if I can find one. These great pictures in here, and everything's kind of green themed. So yeah, I thought it was really nice. I've actually seen a journal done in the exact same cover before, and I thought it was really lovely. So I was excited to find it, which is great. Our next book is this Wonderbook. So it's the Australian Wonderbook of Knowledge. It's kind of like an encyclopedia. And I love these vintage encyclopedias because I find they're really interesting. They've got some information that's a little outdated, but kind of fascinating to see how children were taught back then or what children read about back then. There is a fantastic picture in here, perhaps a picture that might disappoint some people, but I guess you get used to that after looking at vintage books for a while. But it's actually, here we go, it's actually a girl riding a turtle, and I found it quite funny. You know, a little bit sad, but interesting, because we definitely wouldn't be advocating for riding turtles now, but apparently it was a thing back there. If you holidayed on the Barrier Reef, you can ride a turtle. So they've attached some rope to the poor turtle, and she's standing on his back and riding him, which is sad, but fascinating when you read these books. So yeah, there's some really cute pictures in here. I love this one. There is this great astrological picture here of the constellations. And yeah, there's actually a really cool part about space travel. But I think this book's kind of, here we go. This book seems to be, there's no date on it, but I reckon it's really early 60s. So I love reading books, early 60s books that talk about like future of space travel. So I think I'm going to read a bit of this later. I got then these 3 60s girls annuals. 2 of them are princess annuals and 1 of them is a girl annual. So with annuals, they were like the yearly publication in book form of these weekly magazines that were popular during the 50s and 60s and up to the 70s. I often find 70s annuals as well, and even 80s annuals. And they're starting to, I see them in the op shop all the time. I love these 60s annuals because they're so colourful. So I'll show you one of them. Here's the Princess Gift Book from 1968. And they're just so colourful. They have all these fantastic like recipes and comics and like just how-tos, you know, like how to play tennis. And really these annuals are just a collection of the best of the magazines for that year. So you find some really pretty pages like Flowers of the Countryside. And if we look at this one, how beautiful is the cover on this? I love this one. We've got Weavers of Dreams. Oh, I love this. I'm actually making, someone has requested a Arabian Nights pack. So I've been looking for this to complete this pack. And I don't know, I think this might be a good page to use. But yeah, there's all of these comic pages. There's always it's always dancing. There's always like ballet and theatre and yeah, just really, really cute. Really cute pages. And another food page. Oh, I love food photography from the 60s. It's just, you know, the presentation of food, and it's so colourful and it's great. And then the third annual that I got is actually, it's a girl annual, and Girl was a magazine that was published, or it was like a newspaper that was published once a week in the 60s. But this one's kind of all Nurse Abbott themed, and Nurse Abbott was a story that would have been published weekly. And it's all about like heroines of the nursing service. You've got like braille, and how cool is it? I found inside the book, it's kind of like braille, examples of braille. So I don't know whether the previous owner or the child that owned it maybe got these from school or something and decided to stick them in there, but we've got touch language. I'm not sure what the specific term for this kind of touch language is. It's usually for deaf and blind people, so they usually use the language of touch, like Helen Keller. So they put a story on Helen Keller. Really interesting story about a nursing career. It's just really, really quite a cool little book. So yeah, that is one of those annuals that I got. Now this book here was really exciting for me. Not so exciting for other people, but for me it was, because I'm actually making a travel journal at the moment, and I was looking for a second cover for a junk journal, travel junk journal. And this was perfect. So it's called Shirley Flight, Air Hostess in Flying Jet. So Shirley Flight is the main character. She's obviously an air hostess. Now, if someone is good at reading Roman numerals, you may be able to tell me when this was published. I'll have to check on that a little later because my Roman numeral knowledge isn't great. But yeah, how lovely is the cover? So it's going to make a really nice junk journal cover for me. I'm currently making a European travel journal, which has got all of my tickets and collections from my Europe trips, but I am in need of an Asian junk journal cover, and I think this is going to be my Asia junk journal. So that will work really well for me. Next up is this really old dictionary. And I usually buy dictionaries because they're great fillers for my mixed ephemera packs. But this one I found really cool. So I'm actually going to sell some packs of just this dictionary. Some packs of pages from this dictionary, I should say. And I really liked it because the words are really big. So this is called the Every Woman's Dictionary. And it's really cute because the words are really big in here, and that's something that I don't often see. So I don't know if you've come across dictionary pages that look like this, let me know. But how cute. It's got all these really cute little illustrations in there, and it's a really nice size, so it's perfect to put into, smaller journals. If you're making a journal like it's novel size, these pages are perfect to fit into something like this. So I thought this was great. And there's 1,000 pages in here. So awesome. Great value. Next is the Children's Dictionary. This is another book that I'm going to make some packs out of. And I opened this and loved the paste down pages. I just love that vignette that they've got going around here. And we've got Neuschwanstein Castle, which is I visited there a few years ago before COVID, and anytime I see it on Vintage Ephemera, I always collect the page and put it in my travel journal because it was such a great day for me when I visited that castle. It was just a place I've always wanted to go, and when I got there I was so excited. So when I see it there I go, oh great, and look at this plane here. I love travel ephemera, and I love old travel pictures and illustrations. One day I will make a video about my travel journal, which is full of original travel ephemera. So I love this front cover, but what I love most about this book is that all of the words are split with these horizontal lines. So I'm actually going to cut the words out and sell packs with these little clippings of the book. So aren't they great? There's a picture for every word in here. Some really, interesting words for a dictionary. Look at this coral picture. It's beautiful. Current, cuckoo, dingo. It's just great. I saw this and just thought wow. And you know what? I'm pretty sure the last time I visited this op shop that I bought all these books from, I'm pretty sure this book was there. And I don't know why I didn't buy it then, but I'm happy that it was still there. And that was months and months ago. So yeah, it was still sitting at the shop, and this is really beautiful. And the cover's great as well. So hopefully I'll add that to my junk journal covers in my Etsy store. And if you are interested, then that would be a great one to make a journal out of. This is Mother Goose. And this is an early 60s fairy tale book, which I thought was older. I don't know. I think I looked at this kind of font and thought that looked really 50s to me, but it's early 60s. And how beautiful are the paste down pages. This one is really pretty. I love that. It makes a beautiful nursery picture. Actually, this particular book has a lot of full page kind of illustrations that would really make beautiful nursery framed pictures. So I might sell them as separate pages. Look at this little Bo Peep. How cute. Polly put the kettle on. All of these old nursery rhymes. And sometimes you come across ones that are like a little bit, we wouldn't be singing this one anymore. Crippled Dick upon a stick. Yeah. Some of them are funny. I don't remember learning them in the 90s, but they're definitely an early 60s nursery rhyme. Maybe my parents remember some of them, but they were not teaching them to me. And no one is teaching them to their kids now. So, yeah, love that. Look at these beautiful pictures. And they're always in, like, block colours. So if I'm making a pink pack, I can add some of these in, which is great. Beautiful front cover again. Lovely to make a journal out of. All right, what else have we got? Yes, I'm making a Disney journal. And I know Disney journals are really popular. There's actually another junk journaler and a YouTube channel called Thrifty Day, and I'm so inspired by Thrifty Day's journals. She kind of has inspired me to start a YouTube channel. Definitely go and check out her channel. It's fabulous. But she makes these really beautiful Disney magical memory journals. And so I'm trying to create my own. So I've been collecting lots of vintage Disney pages and books and things, and I found this one, which I loved. It's kind of weird because it's got like a Wizard of Oz in there, which isn't a Disney. It's a Warner Brothers thing. And it's, it's not even Warner Brothers. It's got it. I can't even remember the author of The Wizard of Oz. No, can't remember. Anyway, it's got some like non-Disney stories, and then it's got some Disney stories. So this is The Sword in the Stone, and The Sword in the Stone, wasn't a very popular Disney film. But I loved The Sword in the Stone as a kid, so it's really cool to see the Sword in the Stone here, because I don't often find that in a lot of Disney books that I get. But one of the best things about this book is the Pinocchio part, because these pages are beautiful. Like, I just love the illustrations here with Geppetto and Pinocchio, the whale. Just this, really pretty illustrations. So I'm going to use this. And then we've got some, Mickey, Goofy, Donald Duck, and a story on... Oh, yes, this is what I love. It's like a Donald Duck Halloween story. And in it being in Australia, I never usually find any vintage Halloween paper or books or anything at all, because Halloween isn't really a thing in Australia. It's become pretty popular in the last maybe 10 years. The next generation of kids are probably going to get into Halloween, but it's definitely not as big as it is in the US. So when I find vintage Halloween pictures and stuff, I get so excited. I've seen some really cool American collections of vintage Halloween decor and stuff, and when I see it I just get so envious because we don't have any of that here, and I'd love to decorate my house with genuine vintage Halloween decorations. Anyway, and there's a story on Disneyland at the beginning, and I love anything vintage Disneyland, even though I've never actually visited the original Disneyland in the US. It's a big dream to go there, but I've heard that it's getting no, it's not as good as it once was, so which is kind of sad. But yeah, I'd love to go to Disneyland in the US. I've been to Disneyland in Paris and Disneyland in Tokyo, but never the American Disneyland. So I love Disneyland stuff. So my journal's going to be very much based on Disneyland, and that is my Disney book that I got. What is next? Oh yes, this. So this is really interesting. This is a really cool find. You'll notice that it is authored by Flight Lieutenant Roald Dahl. And when I saw Flight Lieutenant Roald Dahl, I thought, how odd, because I don't find anything which refers to Roald Dahl as a flight lieutenant. And I thought, odd. Now, I know that The Gremlins was a Roald Dahl book, but I didn't know that it was his first published work. So that I wasn't aware until I opened the page and saw that this was from 1943. And I thought, okay, so that's like the war years. Interesting. And then I looked it up, found out that The Gremlins was actually Roald Dahl's first published book, and then found out that this is a part of a first edition Gremlins book based on the Walt Disney production, which I haven't seen. So I'm interested to see it. Really cool. Apparently, if this had its cover on it, it would be worth a lot of money, but alas, it's in the condition that it's in. I got it for free. So yes, I went to the op shop today and got a lot of this stuff, but I also, on the way home, picked up some things from Facebook Marketplace, and a lady was giving away a couple of books for free, and she threw this in there with them. So that was great. It's in really poor condition, but like, look at these beautifully illustrated pages. Also interesting, it might have been some kind of like war propaganda. I know that Walt Disney, during the war years, he was funded by the American government to create a lot of war propaganda cartoons and things, and this might have been one of them. So yeah, it's not every day that you see Nazi imagery used in a Disney publication, but there it is. Really interesting. Yeah, and all of the pictures are kind of like this wartime kind of look. So you've got a pilot here in his cockpit, and I guess there's Gus there. Is he one of the Gremlins? I haven't actually read the Gremlins. I can't remember if I've mentioned that, but I'll have to read through this. And I love this. Like, how cool is that? So it's a pilot, and he's just parachuted down out of his plane. I'm going to read this, actually, when I finish the video, because I just think how interesting it is. It's kind of like, you know, a little relic from World War II. So, very interesting. Yeah, in bad condition, but an interesting find. And if you're a junk journaler, you'll be excited to see this. I had someone referred to them on the junk journal group the other day as like little pieces of gold, because apparently people really like them. I don't use them in my journals, but I'm going to start collecting them and sell them to people who like these kinds of things. These little pieces of tape. I'm going to put that there and save that. Okay. And I have got one more little surprise. It's not a book, but it's something that I am excited about, and if you're a junk journaler, you will understand. It is an original 60s bingo set. So I have never seen a bingo set like this ever, and I know that you can buy those reproduction bingo boards to use in junk journals, but I never wanted to buy them, and I always wondered where all these junk journalers got these bingo cards from. Well, I found a whole bunch today, so I got this, I opened it up. It was actually sticky taped, so I didn't get to see inside it until I got into the car. And when I got into the car, I opened it and I saw what was inside. So I opened it up, and this is how I saw it. I saw this note paper box, and I thought, wow, I really hope there's note paper in here with these carnations. Sometimes things like this, you know, they get put in boxes and then people don't realise, and then they send it to the op shop and I get a little bonus gift with purchase. That's what I thought it was. I opened it up, and it was a box of bingo cards. Obviously, it's a bingo set, but I just didn't think the bingo cards would be in a box like this. So, we have got a whole collection of dark blue bingo cards. Fabulous! I'm so excited about this because I've never come across real bingo cards in Australia before. Well, where I live, at least. And the box also came with these, which are kind of a softer, not cardboard, like a paper bingo card. And these look kind of older than these ones, which is really cool. So obviously, somebody really liked bingo, and over generations they've collected bingo cards, and I know this because it came with one lonely bingo card from 1993. So we've got some 60s bingo cards and maybe some 80s bingo cards and some 90s bingo cards. Very cool. And it came with all of these little markers that someone had made out of what looks like, I don't know, a food box of some kind. And in here were the plastic markers. Yeah, so that was a really exciting find for me. If you're looking for original bingo cards, I will be selling them in my Etsy store, along with pieces from all of these books that you've seen today. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know, give me some feedback on how it went. I'm really hoping that I can make these ephemera, or sorry, these thrift haul videos kind of a regular thing. And I guess I just do it for myself to kind of like keep track of things that I've collected, because I don't tend to keep them. I like cut them up, turn them into packs, and off they go to serve a new purpose. So it's really nice just for me. If no one watches this, at least I have a chance to look back at the things that I found. So I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.